Hey y'all, it's me, Shamika, back for another, I guess, Check the Rhymes chat. I don't know what I was calling this. Anyway, just wanted to give some updates. I am still struggling with grief, so if I still seem a little bit off in my interviews, that's why. Some days are better than others. And if you've ever had like a huge loss in your life, then you understand. It takes time. It really does. But for me, it's not just grief. It's like so many things happening at once. It's like, you know what? It rains, it pours. It is storming over here. But I'm trying to continue to be encouraged, uplifted, praying, meditating, going for walks, standing on my head. I mean, all the things. But but as my granddad would always say, you just gotta keep pushing through, keep praying, and make your money, right? So I am still continuing to push through despite what it feels like inside. And I am TMZ doing that again, so that's exciting. I'm like, what else? What else? I just hosted an event with visit.org. That was an experience that I had no idea what I was getting into. So what they do is they take corporate partners and nonprofits and pair them together so that the volunteers from the corporate partners, they end up working like through some social impact project with the nonprofit. So the one that I did was with this area's wildlife um, organization. I don't want to give names, but it was so much fun. I am not one to be all out in nature like that. I'll go for a walk in the park or outside the neighborhood, but to be like out there, like near like a pond and creek and all the things with all the bugs and the frogs and the snakes and the whatever else is in the creek, like that was an experience. But you know what? I've learned that it really does, being in nature really does help reset your nervous system. So I walked away like every morning. So let me back up. So every morning, pretty much I wake up in tears these days. And going to that event actually helped kind of reset my system and made me feel so much better. But listen, so I get it now. So now it's like, just get outside. Even if it's for a quick walk, even if it's just to stand out on the porch and yell at God and everybody else outside, whatever it is, it will help reset your nervous system. You can't just stay cooped up in the house. I know like a lot of people deal with or suffer with depression and all these things, but, and I don't know, I think that definitely getting outside and resetting your nervous system it does wonders. So, anyways, the event was so much fun. Met a lot of cool people. I'd never hosted a live event like that before, and so yeah, I was like, I don't have a microphone. I don't have so it's like when all those things go through your head, like I have to project. I have to make sure because we're out here in the wildlife. I got to make sure everybody that are humans can hear me, but I don't want to disturb the snakes and stuff in the grass. You know what I'm saying? So we got through it. It was an amazing day. The volunteers cleaned up litter and all that stuff, and they like I think people are trifling. Let's just say that the things that were found during this cleanup project was ridiculous. A chair in the creek. Like what? Why are y'all throwing chairs in creeks? There was like, well, 2 6 packs of beer like at one of the like behind a tree, which I'm convinced that somebody's child left those beers there because they were probably like, because there's a school nearby, so they were probably like, we gonna meet up after school, I got these beers, or we gonna go over here during recess. Child, I wish I was there to see their faces when they got there and that beer was gone. And then I wonder what the parents are like, where is my beer? Woo. I got me a good little kiki over that. So yeah, so I'm excited to do more events with visit.org. I know I have another one coming up later this month, so I'm super excited to be a host with them. And as my great daddy says, make my money. And I am still writing, and I don't have a copy of the magazine with me, but there's a new magazine on newsstands now. It's Go Escape Summer USA Today's Travel Edition, and I have not one, but two interviews in there. I have one with D. Ray Davis. And again, you can check out my interview on Check the Rhymes with D. Ray Davis from a couple of years ago. Um, I just love that man. He's so funny. And then the second interview is with Anthony Hamilton, who is also a North Carolina Music Hall of Fame inductee, and he is also here in North Carolina. So I always love chatting with him. So both of those are in that issue, so make sure you check that out. And I am super excited to go see Debbie Gibson. I am super, super hype about that. So I will probably write a blog or something about that experience because, and I tell you, if you knew me back in the 80s, then you knew I love me some Debbie Gibson. I wanted that Electric Youth perfume so bad, but in hindsight, that thing stunk so terribly. Like, I swear I can smell it now. Like, and my parents wouldn't buy the perfume. I think they knew it stunk. But, and it may have been expensive at the time, I don't remember. So I would just spray someone if I went into the store, you know, the little sample, or in the magazines, you know how you take the magazines and you just be rubbing your arm raw, rubbing your stuff. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent now, but and I actually got to interview Debbie Gibson not too long ago for a magazine article that'll be out later this year. But she is just as amazing as I thought she would be. And I am so glad because, like, in my head, back in the day, I was like before there was a Britney Spears, there was Debbie Gibson, right? So anyway, I'm excited. I love like all my old school artists, white, black, whatever. It doesn't matter what race they are. I don't care. I love it. And I also checked out, and also make sure you go to themofochronicles.com, the blog. I have a blog on the new Transformers movie. I did get to check that out for a media screening, and I have to admit, I have not seen all these Transformers movies, so I didn't really know what to expect. So I'm giving you that disclaimer up front. So I know that there's probably a bunch of you that do follow that whole thing. I'm not the one. But check out my review on themofochronicles.com. And I think that it about wraps it up. I'm going to probably try to blog a little bit more and just really try to get back in the groove of things and move on with life as life continues to move on despite whatever losses you face. And I am also just really hoping God answers my prayers soon because, you know, when it rains it pours, and they always say God never gives you more than you can handle. I've reached my limit, so I don't know. I'm not asking for y'all's prayers because you know you can't have everybody praying for you. But if you have some uplifting, encouraging words, please drop them in the comments because I could use some encouragement just to keep going. And I want to thank you all for continuing to watch Check the Rhymes and for continuing to check out the Mofo Chronicles. Even when I'm in that mood of not putting out content, y'all are still there. So I appreciate you and I thank you so very much. And I will see you in the next video.